Have no strikeouts. Here's the throw to second, and Pham, what was he doing?
Okay, so in Game 2 of the World Series, Tommy Pham gets picked off here. It's the top of the sixth. 2 outs, men on first and second, and he ends up getting picked off. And I've had some people reaching out asking me what happened. Did he fall asleep? Why is he trying to steal third base? And so let me break it down. So first off, I'll start with this. Typically with 2 outs, most teams are not going to try to steal third. I'm actually the opposite. I love to steal third with 2 outs as long as we rep it out a ton, we understand what we're looking for, we pick the right situation, we have the right runner to do so, we'll go for it. A lot of times teams do a very poor job of holding runners at second with 2 out because they don't expect the other team to run, and so that's why I will run. Again, I coach at a little bit lower level than the major leagues, and so it's much easier to do so. But the other reason I like to do it in this situation, especially if you have first and second, not only do we get third, but we also get second. So now we move another runner into scoring position. Now this is a really tight game. It's 2-1, and so you have to be sure if you're going to go here. So what happens is, in my opinion, the Diamondbacks have a steal on here. As the base runner, you're always studying the pitcher, and so you're understanding how many looks the pitcher gives. My guess is, and again, I didn't go back and look at a ton of pitches. I watched the game, but as a fan, I'm not counting looks to the plate. As a coach, I do it every single time. When I'm the third base coach, I'm watching the pitcher every pitch, and I'm counting out the looks to home. And all a look is basically right here, you can see how Montgomery is looking at Pham. So that basically stops his feet. He turns his head right here. So you can see how he turns his head home. So that would be considered 1 look. Now, my assumption is they were stealing here off of 1 look. And so once he turns his head home, they must have seen him falling into a pattern of doing that. So he looks at the runner, he looks home, he pitches. Once he looks home, you can see both Pham and the runner at first. Watch them both in sync right here. See, as he looks home, see how both Pham and the runner at first shuffle, and then they shuffle again, right? So they're in sync right here. So this guy, my guess is, sign was put on to steal third, or again, as the runner at first, you're supposed to just keep your eye on the runner at second base, and you're just supposed to mirror him. So if he goes, you go. But the fact that they're so in sync with each other makes me think that they knew they were stealing. So Montgomery turns his head home. Pham, as a runner, if you're going to steal third, you're not just going to run right now. What we teach, and obviously what the Diamondbacks teach as well, is as he looks away, you're going to start to shuffle off. So he shuffles once. He's gaining momentum and getting closer to third. He goes to shuffle twice because the pitcher still hasn't thrown. But the issue is Montgomery looks back again. And once he looks back, and now Pham has shuffled twice, and this last shuffle, it's behind the umpire, but it's a little bit more of a crossover versus shuffle. And so by this point, you're pretty far off, and he's going to turn and pick. So people were saying to me, did he fall asleep? He didn't fall asleep. He chose a pitch to steal on, and he guessed wrong. Now, the interesting thing is, the Rangers put a timed pick on earlier, and the way they put that pick on, I'm assuming through PitchCom, I know I'm not there, but just judging on how the play was, I'm assuming it was through PitchCom because what Montgomery did was he looked home. When he looked home, he broke. He counted 1,1001 and turned and picked, and the timing was pretty good. They did that early. They actually it was with Semien covering. So Semien was in here, and when he looked home, Semien ran the second, 1,1001, turned and picked. Well, this time, if you watch Seager, when he turns his head, Seager must have sniffed this out because you see Seager breaking in here. So he's breaking in. But the reason I know it's not a timing pick, because if it was, he would have counted again, 1,1001, turn and pick. He didn't. He just turned his head back, and he goes, oh, man, look at Pham. He's way off the bag. So I think Seager was just really aware whether Pham has a history of doing this, and so Seager's antenna was up, and he realized it. But again, Montgomery didn't realize it. He just happened to do 2 looks. He looked back, and then, because you can see how long it takes him, right? If he knew that Seager was going to break, he would have turned a lot quicker. He looks back and goes, oh my, Pham is way off. And, oh, Seager just ends up being there. So he turns and picks. You can actually also see Pham, the catcher, he points like he's yelling and pointing right here, like turn and throw the ball to second base. So Montgomery turns, he throws, and they pick him off. So that's how I think it went down. Again, anytime you're stealing third, especially with 2 outs, you have to be really, really, really sure that you're going to make it, especially in a 2-1 game in the World Series. So I don't mind, again, a double steal. And you're not always going to be perfect. Like sometimes the other team just does a really good job. They, again, whether the pitcher is kind of sniffing it out and he says, I'm going to go 2 looks here, or maybe I'm going to go 3 looks here. Again, you see Seager starts to break in. But if Montgomery had just done 1 look, so if he had just done his natural look away, pick up and pitch, it would have been a really easy double steal. We'd have second and third. But instead, the inning's over. So that's what I think happened. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you later.